The dark side of blood flow. Are your arteries fueling your decline? Because what keeps you alive might also be speeding up your slow demise. We're taught to worship good circulation. And, in many ways, we should. Healthy blood flow delivers oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and immune cells to every corner of the body. It keeps your brain sharp, your skin glowing, your muscles energized. Without it, you'd be cold, foggy, and falling apart faster than a deflated bounce house. But what if blood flow, the very thing that makes you feel vital, also becomes a vehicle for your decay? Welcome to the paradox of aging arteries. Your body's superhighways don't just carry the good stuff. They're also remarkably efficient at delivering age-accelerating toxins, rogue proteins, and inflammatory signals from one vulnerable organ to another, like an express delivery service for decline. This isn't science fiction, it's vascular biology. Recent studies have identified dozens of proteins and molecular byproducts that increase with age and disease, many of which hitch a ride through your bloodstream and affect far-flung tissues. One especially ominous example is Gas6 growth arrest, specific 6, a protein that researchers have flagged as a potential accelerator of vascular aging. Initially discovered for its role in regulating cell growth and immune signaling, it turns out Gas6 might be more like a bad conductor, subtly directing your body toward dysfunction. When Gas6 levels rise, which they do in older adults, especially those with metabolic or cardiovascular problems, it doesn't stay local. It circulates. And wherever it lands, it can influence inflammation, increase clotting risk, and even disrupt cellular communication. It may contribute to that mysterious feedback loop where vascular damage leads to immune decline, which leads to more inflammation, which leads to, you guessed it, more vascular damage. So if you're thinking, well, at least my arteries are wide open, pause a moment, because that very openness means everything gets through, including the things you might want to keep isolated. Researchers are now exploring how age-related proteins like Gas6, inflammatory cytokines, and oxidative stress byproducts get broadcast body-wide through circulation. Your blood isn't just informing your organs, it might be infecting them with age. This is especially problematic for the brain, which was once protected by the blood-brain barrier, like a guarded VIP section. But with age and vascular deterioration, that barrier becomes leaky. Suddenly, proteins like Gas6 and pro-inflammatory messengers can slip in and wreak havoc, disrupting cognition, memory, and even contributing to neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. The very system that's supposed to nourish your neurons might be sowing seeds of decline. And the gut? Also vulnerable. Poor vascular signaling can interfere with nutrient absorption, damage the intestinal lining, and feed systemic inflammation. The skin? Less collagen support, more dryness, more visible aging, thanks again to a circulation system delivering low-grade destruction along with its usual cargo. Of course, none of this means blood flow is the enemy. You need it to live, to heal, to move. But it does mean that what's in your blood, the molecular passengers riding through your arteries, matters profoundly. And the older you get, the more your internal highway becomes a two-way street, half of it delivering life, the other half carrying signals of decay. So, how do you control the traffic? It starts with reducing the volume of damaging molecules that enter circulation. That means less ultra-processed food, fewer blood sugar spikes, less stress-induced cortisol, and better sleep. Exercise isn't just good for your heart. It reduces systemic inflammation and improves endothelial function, making your vessels better gatekeepers of what gets through. Certain dietary components, like omega-3s, polyphenol, and nitric oxide, boosting veggies, help maintain flexible arteries and cleaner traffic patterns. There's also emerging research on drugs and supplements that selectively suppress age-accelerating proteins or clear out senescent cells before they start releasing toxic signals. Think of these as cleaning crews for your internal freeway. The field of vascular anti-aging is still young, but it's gaining traction, and not a moment too soon. Because as much as we celebrate blood flow as a sign of youth and health, it's time to look closer. Your arteries aren't just tubes. They're information channels. And as you age, they don't always know when to stop transmitting bad news. Yes, good circulation keeps you alive. But without the right internal environment, it can also become the most efficient delivery system for dysfunction your body has. The trick isn't just keeping the roads open. It's making sure what's riding through them isn't slowly taking you down from the inside out.